Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to the Friday Talk Show with Global Electronics with your host, Rajiv Kulkarni. Yes, we do have this Global Electronics Talk Show every Friday and bring in about the electronics manufacturing activities happening, whether it's a technology concern, whether it's a process concern, whether it's a design, and whether it is supply chain or the manufacturing trend that's happening in today's world. This particular show is brought to you basically to create awareness, create more knowledge, or share the wealth of knowledge that the expertise in the industries have. And this is your host, Rajiv Kulkarni. I'm based out in Dallas, Texas. It's right now 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, 15th of August. So it's 79th, I guess. It's the 79th Independence Day of India. And happy Independence Day, India, to all of you out there from India, whoever is watching this show. So Global Electronics' main effort is to bring the knowledge share about the design, about the process, about the supply chain, about the trend that's happening in the electronics manufacturing activities. And we all know that electronics manufacturing is not an easy task. It is definitely a very cumbersome method or very cumbersome process where you have a lot of we call it as the test methodology, the test condition, the test standards that is engaged depending on the product, depending on the process involved or engaged. So what is happening these days in the electronics industries and how we have moved from I remember still going back 3-4 decades back that we had through hole component technology where basically we are talking about the stuffing the components on the printed circuit boards with your own hand, and that was definitely manual labor concerned and manual labor engaged or involved in the electronics manufacturing. And slowly it started transforming into little semi-automatic pick and place of the components with different kinds of head, different kinds of nozzle, different kinds of spindle, which has been used. Then it became very high-speed pick and place, which is more like a surface mount technology, which in short, it's also called as SMT technology. And there are a lot of organization engaged in the electronics manufacturing. And one of them is definitely SMTA, which is Surface Mount Technology Association, where I am personally engaged. I am personally involved in the Surface Mount Technology Association as a volunteer, as a VP of membership. Currently, I'm serving the SMTA India chapter. So let's start talking about, and today's topic is the electronics manufacturing and the trend, right? And today's guest is myself. I will be the host and the guest, and I will be talking about that for the next few minutes. So what is happening in the electronics manufacturing, as we all know that the trend has been on the exponential side as the technology is changing. So it is undergoing a very significant transformation, which is driven by advancement in the technologies. We are talking about, we get to hear a lot about the AI, which is more like a buzzword. I would say artificial intelligence, and then we call it also the automation, right? The robotic engagement in the manufacturing processes. And then, of course, there are sustainable practices, right? And some key trends which are shaping the industries are definitely AI and machine learning. What exactly is that? It is the predictive maintenance and automated quality control and smart data analysis or analytics are being leveraged to improve efficiency and product quality. So basically, AI and machine learning is, as we also know that HMI, which is one of the human machine interface embedded software we can call, where the machine teaches how you have to run the production processes and so on and so forth. Then we have green and sustainable manufacturing. Companies are focusing, they want to reduce the carbon emissions, which is hazardous, for the environment, hazardous to the human being. And then also e-waste, which is environmental waste, to be controlled. There are a lot of chemicals which is being spilled, which is being in the underdeveloped countries, thrown into the river and so on and so forth. The environmental waste needs to be controlled. That is more on the green and sustainable manufacturing. And also we got to adopt the eco-friendly materials and practices. And there are now a lot of smart factories, and also Industry 4.0, which is again a big buzzword which is being implemented or which is being used in the current manufacturing processes. And then IoT, which is Internet of Things. And then, of course, the smart ICs, cloud platforms. So cloud platforms are nothing but to store your data in some, which is virtually stored and protected by very strong passwords and very strong way of securing your data, instead of securing in your desktop or the laptop, or instead of securing in external hard drive, because those can be easily scammed and hacked by the hackers out there. And then, of course, the robotics are making a huge differences in our day-to-day life. And then also now, then, what is the trend, right? 3D printing is another huge trend which is coming up in the electronics manufacturing. These are additive manufacturing, which enables rapid prototyping, right? And also custom PCB prototyping and some end-used parts in production. Excuse me. Then we talked about the robotics, advanced robotics, and also we are talking about cobots too. So it's a collaborative. Robots are working alongside the human to automate the processes. And because there are a lot of repetitive tasks which are engaged in the manufacturing sector. So in order to do that, there should be a collaborative effort between the robots as well as the human, so that a repetitive task can be handled in a very improved manner, and at the same time having a great safety and accuracy throughput. And now we are talking about always, there's a growth in the electronics manufacturing, there are a lot of new products are engaged. We're talking about, the cloud management. We are talking about the server management. We are talking about data center, which is being introduced by various government in the various countries. And the country where I live, the United States of America, they are focusing heavily into the data center management. And having said that, data center management, it's not only is giving leeway or giving leverage to the other manufacturers which are getting benefit out of that. So let's talk about organic electronics, right? And organic electronics is nothing but it's a very cost-effective, flexible, and eco-friendly organic electronics. And they are gaining a lot of traction these days with applications in the printed electronics and sustainable development, as we spoke earlier. Then we have advanced electronics materials, and these are very nano materials like graphene, and then gallium nitride, which is GaN, and also they are developed for high performance and efficiency. Then edge computing as well as IoT integration. Data processing is being done closer to where it's generated, reducing latency and boosting efficiency in real-time operations. Yes, and then of course the cyber security, which is one of the major trend. It's robust systems are being implemented to control, to safeguard the data that is being transmitted, whether it's intellectual property, whether it's factory data, whether it's increasing, the IoT connectivity threats and so on and so forth. So cyber security plays a very integral and very important part of emerging or growing electronics manufacturing. So we talk about electronics growth market. We talk about electronics growing, trend, right? So basically, what is driving this particular growth, right? So we can say that 5G infrastructure, see, because 5G networks are driving demand for specialized chips and enabling new applications, and whether it's autonomous vehicle, that is becoming more and more I wouldn't say very popular, but at least it is catching the eyesight of the human being who are engaged in the technology gadgets, who are engaged, who would like to engage themselves in the developed gadgets like these autonomous vehicles and then 5G networks, and which enables for the development of specialized chips, and which has a very, very powerful capacity to handle the data which is being transmitted and received during the operation of these high-end market segment. Then, of course, the AI, which is always it's a big buzzword now, and which is being talked about globally. Everything we talk is all about artificial intelligence, because AI powered solutions are creating new opportunities and also redefining our user experiences in industries like healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics. There are a lot of advantages and there are a lot of disadvantages also in the AI. Disadvantages, I mentioned that because sometimes that AI can be used in a very negative way. Whoever have those kind of negative thoughts, always they try to use the technology in a negative way, which is not really encouraging. But positive sides are many, only due to the reason that AI will enable to speed up your processes. AI will enable to speed up your production activities and also throughput and the efficiencies. So, and then of course we spoke about sustainable energy solutions. Energy efficient electronics and circular economy models are gaining traction, and with the focus on reducing waste, because sustainable energy solutions are nothing but we have to control on the waste management, and we have to conserve our resources, because the energy used, or energy gain that we talk about, but energy waste is definitely is energy wastage. So we have to conserve the energy reserves that we have, the resources that we have. So I would like to just talk a little bit about the electronics manufacturing in the USA, right? Because I'm living in this country. So how is it affecting the different parts of the world, different parts of the market segment? So electronics manufacturing industry in the USA is a very, very significant sector, right? which is driven by advancement in technology, consumer demand, and also focus on domestic production. So there has been a lot of talks going on in the United States by the U.S. administration that the U.S. make or made in USA needs to be carried out. And there are a lot of talks in different parts of the world are also happening. For that matter, if I want to talk about the largest democratic country in the world, which is India, where I come from originally, Make in India is driving a great force, and that is driving a great manufacturing activity from the electronics perspective. And now the smartphones, according to the statistics, according to the research of 2024, the largest smartphone manufacturing country was India in 2024. That is one of the greatest thing to happen for Indian market as such, because it not only benefits the economy of the country, it also boosts from the technology perspective, because the people are bringing more technology to manufacture those smartphones, which were a few years back was kind of a dream that India definitely had. But looking at the progress that India has made in the manufacturing sector, that is being enormous. And I would like to mention here is that we, as a Surface Mount Technology Association, we are doing much advancement in the electronics sector by having more and more technical events, by more and more supporting our engineers in the electronics manufacturing process. So, who are the top electronics manufacturers in the USA? Of course, we all know there's Apple, Intel, Dell Technologies, Cisco Systems, Qualcomm, NVIDIA, AMD, GE, Honeywell, and so on and so forth. I mean, these big corporations, they have not only invested billions of dollars in the United States. I mean, there has been like billions, hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars have been committed to invest in the United States for the next coming years in various sectors. I'm talking about aerospace, of course, talking about the integrated circuits or the chip manufacturing, and talking about there are a lot of chip manufacturing companies have already invested in the state of Texas where I live, and they have committed. There's a lot of investment is happening in the West Coast. A lot of investment is happening in the Northeast, and the investment is continuously growing, and investment is continuously happening in different parts of the country here in the United States. And also these big names which I took earlier, all these data, all these stocks, what I'm making is definitely from the online data, which is available freely, and people can access it and go and access and check on those trends, how the investment is being carried out on the electronics manufacturing. And these companies, they are not only investing in the United States, they are also investing in the other parts of the world. I'm talking mainly on the Asian side of it, whether it can be mainland China, whether it can be Vietnam, whether it can be India, whether it can be Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, you name the countries. Now, all these big companies, they have their presence, they have their manufacturing activities. The only reason going to the Asian side is for two reasons. One is definitely to have the domestic market of that region, to support that particular domestic market, and also it is a low-cost manufacturing base for sure. And there are, we also talk about the contract electronics manufacturing. Contract electronics manufacturing is nothing but EMS, electronics manufacturing services as well. They're like, again, big players like Foxconn, then big players like Wistron, Pegatron, Jabil, We are talking about Sanmina, Plexus, Benchmark, and Creation Technologies. So, and they serve various electronics manufacturing industries, whether it can be aerospace, defense, smartphone manufacturing, whether it can be medical industries, automotive electronics, which is a very, very high growth market segment in the North American market segment. I'm not only talking about the Asia, we are talking about the Latin America, we talk about Brazil, we talk about Costa Rica, we talk about Mexico. Mexico is one of the biggest trade partner for the United States for the electronics manufacturing activities. And of course, all these contract manufacturers, all these big names, they are present in Mexico, and Mexico is definitely also a huge, huge electronics hub and electronics manufacturing hub, I would say. So industries trends, right? The U.S. electronics manufacturing industry is experiencing a significant shift right now, driven by emerging trends and innovations, such as its reshoring, that is, companies are moving production back to the USA because of Make in India, Made in India, Make in India, which is in India, and Made in US, which is in US. Because of the trend, US manufacturing is growing. And then we are talking about advanced manufacturing sector, right? It's an adoption of technologies, right? That is why we call it the advanced manufacturing. Earlier I spoke about automation, spoke about AI technology and 3D printing. These are our very, very enhancing manufacturing capabilities. And then, of course, US cares a lot about environmental e-waste, which falls into the category of sustainability. So, ladies and gentlemen, so please keep watching Global Electronics as we bring in more and more electronics manufacturing trend, as we bring in more and more our guest technology experts who talk about various topics, including, last week we spoke about RFID and magnetics, how it plays a very important role in the electronics manufacturing. Before we spoke about the PCB design, the impact of PCB design, and then we spoke about what are the test methodology to be conducted, right? And then we spoke about FMEA in the electronics processes. We spoke about how you can do the PCB cleaning and so on and so forth. So there is a series of topics which are lined up. And today I took the opportunity of speaking a little bit about the electronics manufacturing trend, and just to give you an idea, because I belong to the electronics industry, I've been an experienced electronics I would say in the business development, in the manufacturing, in the technical sales for the last 30 plus years, serving various types, various market segment in the electronics industries. And right now I'm serving the Momentive Performance material, which is thermal interface material, to the electronics manufacturing industries. And as I said, it is a high growth market. The circuits are getting dense. The circuits are becoming smaller and smaller. The power handling capacity is increasing. And because of that, the chip design methodology is changing. Because of that, the chip manufacturing challenges are increasing. So there is a consistent domino effect because of the change in technology, because of the advancement in technology, as we spoke, AI, data center, chip manufacturing, smartphone manufacturing, autonomous vehicles. We talk about very smart vehicles. You go into any automotive vehicle, automobile vehicle in today, it is nothing but electronics. It is nothing but high advanced electronics. So with that said, so keep watching Global Electronics. Every Friday brings you at 9 a.m. CST and 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time with your host Rajiv Kulkarni. and don't miss it, because if you are not subscribed so far, please do subscribe the channel, and you can watch a lot of the previous shows, topics which might be of interest to you. And if you are interested for any reason to participate, please write to us, globalelectronics1234 at gmail.com. That is globalelectronics1234 at gmail.com. We will definitely feature you in those topic in the stock show, and which can benefit a lot of engineers out there. With that said, I would like to take a leave again, once again, for all the Indians who are watching this show. Happy Independence Day to you, and to all the people from different parts of the world who are watching. Please take good care of yourself. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless. Thank you all. Thank you again. Bye now.